Hello and welcome to another unboxing video. Today we're going to be looking at what is probably my favourite of the releases for the Apeptus Custodes, the Vertus Praetors. Now, I'm going to try to be as unbiased and unexcited by this as I possibly can, but I love jet bikes in all forms, all mediums. In fact, it almost made me start a Dark Angel army purely for the character on a jet bike. It's insane. So, firstly, who are the Vertus Praetors? Now, the Vertus Praetors, they are a bit of a mix match in the fluff. They're an interesting unit. They hover around battlefields, giving shield captains up-to-date advice of what's happening, so a shield captain is always aware of whatever's happening on the battlefield. But they also act as hunter-killer units that strike down heavily armoured targets or vehicles, depending on their loadout. But they also serve as a reinforcement whilst they're hovering around. If they see custodian guards under threat or facing overwhelming odds, as insane as that might sound, yes, I know, custodians against overwhelming odds, who'd have thought it, the Vertus Praetors swoop in to just reinforce a position and lightning strike, and that is represented by a stratagem they can take, which is a free CP one, and it allows them to charge if your opponent makes a charge within a certain range of them. So it's a nice fluffy little interaction between rules and background. So these guys, you get 3 in a box. I'm obviously looking forward to them. As a bit of a twist on what I've done so far, I'm just going to be building them as the standard 3-man squads, as currently I'm trying to keep my Apeptus Custodes force cheap and well-rounded. I'm going to do a little video on that in the future, I think, just talking about how to get a 2,000 point force relatively cheap that can achieve a lot of objectives, but that's for another time. So before we go any further ado, let's get on with the boxing. Now, I did remove the plastic wrap from this purely because of the shine I was getting on the other videos, and also 100% my bad, I thought I was recording when I did in the first place. So on the front of the box we get 3 Citadel miniatures with an offset one, just because these lances are so huge. As you can see, they're all slightly varying poses just due to the difference in the lance position. And on the back then we've got just their interceptor lance, the hurricane bolter, or a salvo launcher. Again, I'm not sure how I'm going to equip these yet. I might do 1 with a salvo launcher and 2 with the hurricane bolter, just because they can split their targets anyway. But these guys can engage flyers in close combat. And then we just got shots, how to paint them. Again, I think I might do a gold painting tutorial. It's slightly different from this, just to get you quick and easy. So, unboxing in the box already, and it looks like it's another weighty. So these guys, oh, interestingly enough, after I've just dropped something on the floor, so interestingly enough, you get different styles of bases with these guys. So you can build them as either your standard bases or with your clear flying bases. I'm slightly concerned because there's only 2 stands there. I'll have to check if it's in the bottom of my box once we're done filming. Ah, there we go, the other stand. Okay, so you got your big bases. These are chunky. These are as wide as a 40mm base, I think, looking at them. Yeah, they're actually wider, so these things are huge. Just to give you an idea of scale. Then we have 3 sprues laid out. So we look at the sprues first. So this is sprue 1. A quick glance at them. I think they're not identical. They're unique sprues. So you can build 3 unique Vertus Praetors. So we'll do a quick pan over all the sprues. Here's the jet bike body. And the eagle headband there. Different plumes, etc. Well, no, this is looking amazing. Their Misericordia actually looks longer. Again, so yeah, just we got a comparison. There's the Misericordia of Nalaris Custodian, and there it is there. So it's more like a sword for these guys. Again, though, that kind of makes sense due to them being on jet bikes. The helmets, don't know if you can see these, are very cool there. You know, they tie in with the old picture of custodian jet bikes with an eagle on top of their helmet. So again, these guys look slightly different, which I'm glad. I'm always happy for more variety in forces. So that's sprue 1 done. Sprue 2 and 3 were attached. So this one looks like a more generic one. I think that last one might have been the shield captain. So we'll just do a quick pan over again. These are slightly different. I think it's just like the arm poses, etc. When I was looking at them, they seem slightly different, but not hugely. So I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of variety in these. Hence my, I'd say, unwillingness to buy a second box. But again, I might in the future just get a shield captain on a jet bike, because I saw an awesome force online where you can build a 2,000 point army with 20 models, which is a few boxes of these and that's it. So yeah, these lances are huge, massive. I mean, to bring back the Apeptus Custodian one more time, there he is. There, he's not even half its length. And then the last sprue here, we're just going to look at. Settles in. Just a quick look over like so. Again, once you've looked at one of these sprues, I think you're getting a good picture of what's the camp. So now, the rule book and the instructions. This is another chunky one just because they've got options and it's going to be in all the different languages. So Dawn Eagle jet bikes ×3, so they're all built the same way to start. So we'll go through here now. So you build all the jet bikes and you choose your flak burst. So your salvo launcher or your hurricane bolter. It doesn't look like there's going to be much option to magnetize these. I might see when I'm building them what I can do with it. Again, no, these looks like they're going to be the most complex of the new kits. Now you've got your Vertus Praetor part A, which you can build as a shield captain, which apparently the only difference is he's bare helmeted. So I might actually be able to fob this off as a shield captain. I thought they would have had like slightly different chest piece or shoulder pieces as they have with literally every other one of these kits. But oh well, that's slightly disappointing, I think you can say, due to even the Wardens and the standard Custodian Guard and the Apeptus Custodians all come with just a different shoulder piece, just so you can show the difference between a shield captain and a regular guy. Yeah, again, the shield captain can be built alongside any of these, but disappointing, I guess you could say. But I'm happy with how these look, to be completely honest with you. I might build them on the flying stance, just so they're a little bit different, because every one I see they're on these. But I might just build them on these due to these look like they're going to be a more solid base for them. But yeah, so it tells you how you can put them onto the different bases. And then we've got the Vertus Praetors. Now, these guys are very good. They're movement 14, so they're the fastest thing in a custodian army. That's not deep striking. They've got a weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, strength 5, toughness 6, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2+ save. And this is for a unit of 3. So hurricane bolters are your standard 24 inches, rapid fire 6, so they become 12 shots. They've become 12 shots at point blank range. Huge. Salvo launcher is an interesting weapon. It's expensive in points when I was looking at it. Where you get a melter missile, which is a strength 8 AP -4 d6 damage, but it's one shot. Or flak burst missile, letting you put multiple shots against flyers. Again, I'm liking the idea of a melter missile, just because my force so far doesn't have any land raiders or long-ranged anti-vehicle weaponry. And whilst they can charge them and blow them up, it's still, they've got to get there first. Now, the Interceptor Lance is their only, other than Misericordia, is their only close combat weapon, and it is essentially a Guardian Spear with the ability to reroll failed wounds on a turn which they make a successful charge. still, it's just something that makes them a little bit more interesting. It says strength 6, re-rolling failed wounds rather than just wound to 1, which I thought it was going to be. So that's big in its own. It allows these guys to charge things like Storm Ravens, Storm Talons, the Eldar Flyers, Hell Drakes and stuff, because they can fly. They have the fly keyword. And even though they're only strength 6, most flying vehicles are toughness 6, toughness 7, so you're wounding on 4s or 5s with 4 attacks each. So you're already looking at, for a basic squad, you're looking at 12 attacks, wounding on 4s, re-rolling the fail, or wounding on 5s, re-rolling fails, and they're doing D3 damage each, AP -3. That's ignoring a lot of the vehicle's armour. These guys could realistically blow up flyers with 1 charge. Heavier vehicles, they could... heavier ground vehicles, they're a decent option, more decent than, say, Guardian Spear squads. Not as decent as a Castellan Axe. But, you know, the option's there. Light vehicles, these will be an absolute pain for them. They're faster than them. They can melt a missile them, reroll and fail wounds again, d6 damage, and then if it hasn't quite killed them, just charge them to finish them off. And then they can also take the Misericordia, which is standard with all custodian units. So their war gear options, they come with a Hurricane Bolter standard and can be replaced with a Salvo Launcher, and any model may take a Misericordia. They come with the AG of the Emperor special rule, so a 5+ invulnerable, 4+ if it's a pure custodian detachment, and a 6+ save against psychic powers. And they also have Implacable Vanguard. When its unit advances, add 6 to its movement characteristics for the movement phase instead of rolling dice. So these guys can move potentially 20 inches in 1 turn. That is insane. Yes, they can't shoot and stuff, but these guys can whip across a battlefield. You're almost covering 2 foot on a... So on a standard size table, if you're deploying the 6 foot by 4 foot and you're deploying along the long edge, you can get in your opponent's deployment zone in 1 movement phase, more or less. Or you can get halfway across the... a third of the way across the board if you're playing across the short edge in 1 movement phase. So, yeah, that speaks for itself. It's massive. And then we have the Shield Captain on the Dawn Eagle jet bike. So he has the standard Shield Captain style profile with an extra wound, extra toughness, and standard attacks. He has all the same options as a Vertus Praetor. He may replace his Hurricane Bolter, Salvo Launcher again. Similar to your standard Vertus, he has all their same special rules, plus he has Inspirational Fighter, so allowing reroll hit rolls of 1 for Apeptus Custodes units within 6 of this model. So unless your opponent is stacking modifiers, you're rerolling all fails. Something else that I'm not sure if I pointed out, it says reroll hit rolls of 1. It's not like your lieutenants and captains and chapter masters. These aren't just in close combat, they're not, etc. These allow you to reroll all the time, which is huge, because you can use it to shoot on advance. Make sure you're getting your BCL 2+. With this size of force, you need to get as many of your shots landing as possible. And then when you're in close combat, again, due to the size of the force and number of attacks you've all got individually, you want to make sure as many of those attacks hit home, because once models start to die in a custodian force, you really do start to feel it. Now, I think the Shield Captain on a Dawn Eagle jet bike, despite what I've said, is going to be a very common occurrence. He's an exceptionally good profile. He's fast, he's protectable due to only having 7 wounds, so you can hide him behind a unit, and he puts out a hell of a lot of damage. I personally think you're also going to see a lot of the Alaris Captain, just because the deep strike and they've got a really strong shooting attack. But again, it's a topic for another time. So, this has been the unboxing portion of this video, so as per usual, there's going to be a quick jump cut just after I finish speaking, and we're going to come back to the built models. And here we have the mostly built models. So if you've been following my Twitter, you'll see today me complaining about the bases. Now these things are absolutely evil to get the attachment points onto, to the point where I'm using the plastic clear ones as just a temporary one while I'm going to paint them up, and this one I couldn't even get the base to settle for him. And then I'm going to get some modelling putty and green stuff and just mould really the peg to the base just to help hold it in place, because these guys, the models are very front heavy, so not only do you have to deal with the ball socket there holding these models, you also have to deal with the peg at the bottom, or if you're trying to put them on the black base, just the flat point, and there isn't enough strength in that and the contact point to actually hold these models up. Now I had the pegs in super glue and plastic glue just to find out what was the best one. I left them here for a good few hours to dry, and then as soon as I would put this one on a model and managed to straighten him at the top, it snapped. Yeah, it's a bit terrible. Which is a damn shame, because I wanted them to be on the black base, so they will be on the black base eventually. But as for now, it's just these. Now, as you can probably see already, these are amazing models, but they are absolute buggers to put together. So I'm going to look at these one at a time. The first one being the one that's going to make a stand-in for my shield captain. For now, if I decide to use one, he's got the salvo launcher on, just to differentiate who's who. Yeah, it's a very nice sculpt. The jet bike is incredibly intricate. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Intricate. It came in a lot of pieces. It took nearly an hour to build the first jet bike when I was doing it, just because there's so many fiddly little bits on it. Already voiced my complaints that the shield captain option is just a headless guy. Helmetless guy. So I don't really have a lot more to say on that. But again, it's a really nice model. I've got no complaints about the model itself. It's the attachment points, etc., that is the main issue. Something else when you're building these to watch out for is these plumes. They're a little bit of a pain. It's two flat connection points. However, the one on the plume is where it's attached to the sprue. So when you clip it off, you're going to make sure it's perfectly smooth. And there's a mold line right at the top of the eagle's head on the helmet that if you don't file it down perfectly smooth, the plume won't sit flat, which means the glue won't set properly. And you'll find it dipping. But yeah, it's a very nice sculpt. It's going to be fun to paint. Lots of detail. Exactly what a Custodes jet bike should be. The next one, I've gone for he's coming down towards a model to impale him on his spear. Again, there's not really much variation in these sculpts. The eagle shoulder blade can be a bit of a pain to glue on, depending on the pose you've gone for, but yeah, nice sculpt. It would be nice for a little bit more variety. Literally the riders are more or less all built the same way, the exception of the next one. The jet bikes are identical pieces, and the only variation comes in a slight difference on the helmet. This guy has, just has to focus, lightning bolts on the side of his head, whereas the last one had crests, and the next one has got, I think it's the Terminator symbol, the Crux Imperialis, I think. But again, nice model. Can't complain about the model itself, it's just the base. And then finally, this one, I wanted him to look like he was swinging down, like he was swinging the bike along sideways in an almost drift kind of fashion as he impaled someone on his spear. This one was a bit dubious to hold. I actually put together some pillars out of Lego and blue tack, etc., just to hold the bike in place while the super glue set. This one, the body is built slightly differently to put him at a slight angle for his lance. But other than that, he is again identical, the eagle head. And one small detail I really like about these models is they've got, similar to the Apeptus Custodians, a eagle spread across the back of the shoulders, etc., and up into the back of their head. But this one, rather than it being resting above their head, the top of their helmet is actually the eagle's head. And I just like it. It's a small attention to detail that can be missed the first time. But again, did like the models. I think I'm going to hold off buying another box. Unlike what I was talking about earlier, these were a lot more of a pain to put together than I thought they were going to be. It's kind of, I wouldn't say killed it for me, but it's made me rethink how I'm going to be doing this style of model from now on. Speaking of, what do you guys think of the white desk background instead of the black? I figured it's a bit better to show off the grey models as opposed to having black. But yes, this has been That Welsh Nerd with another unboxing video. If you did like it, please leave a like, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Every single one of you that subscribes and leaves a comment, I read them all. I usually respond to everyone, and it just makes me feel good. I'm going to be blunt and honest. It's something that keeps me going. There's been a couple of times in the past where I've considered that this hasn't really been going anywhere, and it's been a comment that's popped up that's made me go, actually, there are guys that enjoy what I do. So enough of my gushing. So keep an eye out for the Custodian Wardens. Custodian Wardens, not Wardians. That would be a big spiritual liege moment. But until then, this has been That Welsh Nerd, and I'll see you in the next one.